Okay, I'm gonna get the car up in the air and get it ready to pull the transmission so that I can change the clutch. A little concerning. Today, I was backing it actually into the spot and it was making this weird noise, and I decided to like hold the rails and see what the noise was, and it almost sounded like pinging. But it was weird because it wasn't under any load. But so I'm thinking it's just something rattling around. So I want to check the timing. That'll be the first thing I do when I set it down, and then yeah, before it goes anywhere, because that's really concerning. So like it, but I'm not gonna lie, that took like 30 minutes and I'm sweating. So there is literally 2 jack stands up front where I'm gonna primarily be. There are 2 scissor jacks under there, and there's a 3rd scissor jack under the diff. I shook it like probably 30 times because I know I'm going to be yanking on stuff under there. So it's very solid and good and tall. So hopefully that'll make it a little easier to work. I'm now probably going to take a break, go eat lunch, and then come back and drop the exhaust and maybe look at getting the drop shaft out today. Underneath here, and the exhaust is, it's not going to be in the way. So I may just leave it on. Just gonna have to get me a really good swivel to get up in there. Just 2 up top there. But the rest of them pretty accessible. I think my slave cylinder is leaking, so just noticed that. I'm gonna replace him. But yep. I don't think I'm gonna have to drop the exhaust. There's this bracket here, which is a little bit in the way. If you can tell, this is the side of the transmission, but I mean, it's gonna be like wiggling, and this thing right here, literally, maybe if we just like loosened up those bolts down there at the flange, it would allow this to have some play. I mean, it's already gonna unbolt from here from the transmission cross member, but it's literally like that much. It probably can just wiggle past that, to be honest. So I'm gonna try it without the exhaust, and I guess if it needs to, I can always take it off in the heat of the moment. So, yeah, start with this drive shaft then, and draining the transmission. I'm kind of interested to see how much metal flake is in there. Here right now, and I got all 4 of the drive shaft bolts loose from the diff. Way easier than taking the diff out, might I add, because that was a pain in the ass. This is the last one. I left it in so this doesn't just fall out. And then I'm going to get the carrier bearing loose but not all the way unbolted, and then I'm going to drain the transmission, because if I try to pull the drive shaft out with the fluid still in the transmission, it'll all pour out of there and it'll make a huge mess. So we're just going to kind of leave this guy just barely hanging here, and then drain the transmission before we finally pull him out. Got these carrier bolts loose, or carrier bearing bolts loose. This carrier bearing looks like it has seen better days also. Anyways, 1/2-inch drive drain plug, about to pop it off. It is so filthy under here. I am wearing glasses so that I don't get shit in my eye, but yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, we're gonna drain it and see all the metal flakes. I'm under here. Oh crap. I'm under here, and got to drain this guy. Got the pan. Got the Mazda. I'm anxious to see what this looks like, actually. I don't know how well you can see this. Dude, it's actually not that bad. Oh shit, if I didn't drop the plug. Oh, look at that though. You can catch that out of a little bit of the focus. Look at that flake. Oh, it's gonna be bad. But overall, color-wise, it's not as black as I thought it was gonna be. Huh? Anyways, we're gonna go look at this in the light. Yeah, I'd say that's seen better days. Good thing it's getting new fluid. Nice and clean. So, next time I change the oil, we'll see how bad off it is. Also, I'm going to skim the bottom of the pan in a minute and see if the magnet really caught it all. So, see how bad she really is. So, with the drop shaft almost out, just gonna come in here, and I know this is kind of like out of order, but I'm gonna come in here and go ahead and remove the shifter and all that jazz, just so that when I go to pull the transmission, I didn't forget about it, and because it's a common mistake. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull all this out here, and got these 4 little 10mm bolts holding this guy in off. Pull this off. If I can get out of here with one hand, probably not. Wherever there's the ring. And the boot just comes separate because it's flexible. There we go. Now we're left with this guy, which thankfully I can just leave it like this and not have to mess with pulling the shifter and all that out. And when I drop the transmission, it should just fall right through. So we're done up here. Zip tied right there, so that kind of acting as like the dust boot, sort of, so that no dust falls into where that grease is exposed. Make sure this is in neutral, which it is, which I can confirm by spinning the back wheels with the e-brake down, but I know that's neutral. And yeah, like I said, we're done up here. Alright, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this. There it goes. I'll put a glove over the output area of the transmission, just so no like dust. Like I said, same thing with kind of like the shifter up here. You know, no debris. At the carrier carrier bearing housing, just kind of hanging here. I've got the drop shaft in the trunk. There's the diff. I can get up out of here. And there is drop shaft. So carrier bearing feels I don't know if I can do it with one hand, but it feels really smooth. A little warped, as you can see there, but I don't know how important that is. But anyways, it's very smooth. It doesn't make any noise or grinding feeling, so I'm gonna leave it. But yeah, coming along. I'm probably gonna call this it for the day, and me and Emily are gonna go celebrate her birthday, and I might get on this probably Friday or Saturday.